So we have a full moon in Leo today. So this is likely going to cause some shifts within people's connections and whatnot. So I thought we could do a little reading and see what's coming. Right. What changes is the full moon energy going to bring to my collective, please? Let's see what changes it's going to bring. Because there's going to be some shifts from this now. Ooh. I've got some new decks as well, which is fun. So let's look into this. Right, so people are going through, there's a lot of people going through death and rebirth cycles at the moment. There's a big spiritual, like, awakening happening amongst so many people across the planet at the moment. So there's a lot of death, I can't even see that. There's a lot of death and rebirth cycles that are happening. And you might find that you encounter some shifts spiritually through the transitions that are coming up. So we've got the full moon today in Leo, but then we're entering into eclipse season. So there's going to be, there's some big planetary alignments and there's some big shifts that are going on. But what seems to be happening amongst the collectives is that there were people that were already quite spiritual that are going through another rebirth cycle, okay? And this is coming with a lot of lessons. There are still things that needed to be learned. There were still cycles that you were potentially repeating, masks that you were wearing, and you needed to go through another death and rebirth cycle for those to be able to be highlighted, for you to be able to learn new things, experience new lessons, or the same lessons, but potentially learn a new part, like you haven't learned the lesson from it, which is why you keep repeating the cycle, okay? So there's a lot of things at the moment that are being mirrored to people, because it's the mirrors that pop up for us that highlight our unhealed areas. So if someone's mirroring something to you and it's really triggering for you, then that's an area that you need to look at within yourself, because there's likely some cycle that you're repeating in that area, or something that you're not noticing that needs to be healed, that needs to be released, okay? So we can look into what's potentially being mirrored, but you're going through a new cycle. Well, you're ending out your old cycles so that you can enter into this new stage. Okay, now this is an interesting part to layer on. So whoever is a part of this collective, you have magic within your soul. So you may be somebody that does witchcraft, you might be somebody that works with their ancestry, but you have magic, there's witchcraft down your ancestral line. So that might be something that is being highlighted to you at the moment, something that they're wanting you to focus on, something that they're wanting you to learn things about. Okay, so, but intuitively, I feel like you're aware of this. So you can feel that magic sort of energy within your soul, within your family. So it might be that your family practices, you might come from a culture where magic is more part of like day-to-day life, like doing rituals, connecting with your ancestry line. It's just a part of your culture, a part of your practice. But intuitively, you're going to be receiving a lot of messages at the moment. Your intuition's going to be going crazy, and it's linking in to this magic that's coming down your family line. The number 11 might be significant here as well. Okay, so it could be coming from father energy. So it could be coming from the male side of your family, that's where those sorts of traditions come from. But this is divine masculine energy as well as father energy. Let's see what I see. You might be quite a spiritual person then. Well, actually, it looks like you are a spiritual person. Sorry, my brain's not working too well today. The full moons always hit me like a train. But this cycle is a cycle of renewal for you. So you are going through this big rebirth. You are learning new things from the triggers, everything that's being mirrored to you at the moment. But it's to push you down this journey of really connecting in with the magic that runs down your family. and really connecting in with those traditions. That's something that they're obviously wanting you to lean into. Now, whoever this is part of this collective, the magic is going to be on your father's side. So again, that's a detail, and don't make the details fit in readings like this. So if if on your father's side of the family, people aren't practicing magic, and having that as part of their like day-to-day life, then this reading is not going to be for you. But there's something about courage here. So you might be feeling a bit fearful of, okay, so with that Knight card coming out here as well, it's likely that you might be slightly fearful of working with darker energies, okay? So I don't know whether that's the sort of magic that is focused on through your ancestral line, whether it's more like, I don't like using the term dark magic. For me, dark isn't bad, but that's the reference that you're going to understand. So it might be that you're more fearful with this Knight card coming out of that type of magic, and because of that, you're a little bit reluctant almost to go down that path. But your ancestors are calling out to you. They're really, really calling out to you, and they're wanting you to try and focus on that part of your family history. They want you to learn about it. So they want you to learn about the old traditions and the way that they would have practiced in the past. There's something about like going back, like far back, and picking up those sorts of traditions. So this isn't likely information that you're going to be able to get from like a book off the internet, things like that. These are going to be old traditions that are ingrained so deeply into your culture, into your family, that it would need to be taught by some kind of like elder. This isn't something that I think you're just going to be able to pick out of a book. So again, if that's not your culture and that doesn't fit with your family, then this reading is not for you. But there's something about going really, really far back. So if you've already been researching about your ancestral line and the types of magic that those that would have been done in those times, you need to go further back. You need to go further down the timeline, because there's something that you're missing. There's something that you're not aware of. This is what I'm being told. And it's likely going to link in to what you would consider, what society would consider the darker energies. Now, I don't believe darker energies to be bad at all, but because you're needing to build up courage to sort of embrace those energies, it might be that you're a little bit fearful of that. I'm going to switch this to archetypes, because you're obviously on a deep spiritual journey. So let's focus the reading on that. Okay, so these cards are going to tell us a little bit more about what sort of journey you're on, what's opening up for your soul at the moment, and what you're needing to connect in with in terms of your soul purpose, like what it is that you're meant to be working towards, okay? So what can we tell the collective about their journey? What are they meant to be opening up to at the moment, please? There's something very strong coming through about your ancestral line here. There's something really, really significant. And about the time that you're going back to, and that you need to go further back. Because you're on a journey. So you are on a journey. Hang on. So you've come out as the pilgrim to start, okay? But this is about, again, this is the death and rebirth cycle that you're going through right now. So for the pilgrim, an outward journey is always an inward journey. This archetypal wanderer seeks wisdom, experience, and meaning in the furthest reaches of the globe and the deepest regions of the spirit. So this, again, is about you going deeper, further back, down your ancestry line. Others will wonder when the pilgrim will settle down and claim a more conventional life, but the pilgrim knows that the heart belongs in motion. Where there is motion, there is freedom, expansion, and growth. Responsibilities, social conventions, and logistics lull the pilgrim to sleep, and soon the pilgrim becomes veiled in the slumber of the day-to-day. So you may be getting bogged down with like the day-to-day movements of things and society's sort of expectations, okay? And it's about trying to free yourself from that as you go through this new awakening that you're going through. It's about learning, growing and adapting as you move through this journey, but it's about understanding that the journey that you're moving through is a journey of self-discovery. It's a journey of going inwards and really learning about your soul and what you're meant to be moving forward to. I put this card back at the beginning because I thought it fell out and it's come out again. So you might be at the moment in the bit of a stage where you feel like you've almost hit a bit of a dead end. You've hit a bit of a roadblock. You don't know how to move forward and you feel a bit stuck because of that. You're somebody that is very good at molding themselves and bending themselves to fit in with different groups of people, but I feel like it's almost that you need to be stepping away from now, and you need to really go within and really connect to this sort of creator energy and understanding that you are the creator of your own reality. And as long as you're pushing forward and adapting and growing as you move through your journeys, you're always going to come back to a journey of self-discovery. That here with the ocean, it's about going deeper. There's something very significant for you about going deeper. And I said that at the beginning in terms of going back down your ancestral line. So there's a need for depth here. There's a need for diving deeper. I'm really looking beyond the usual expectations. Like there's something that's not being noticed here. There's something that's being missed. And again, with this mentor energy, okay, so this is not something you're going to be able to learn yourself. So you might need to be reaching out to people within your community, people that share the same culture as you. If you don't have that within your own family to reach out to, you're needing to find some kind of mentor. I strongly believe that this is not something that you're going to be able to discover yourself. It's about connecting with your community and being able to find a suitable mentor that can teach you these things that you're not going to find in books, that can take you as far back as it is that you need to go for this depth that you're being called to seek out. Because you're being called to go to a much deeper depth, so further back down your ancestral line than you have done already. So there might be something within that you've inherently missed, and you're thinking that you're meant to be working in some kind of way when actually it's meant to be very different. The depth is really important here. Okay, so we also have the Destroyer for you. So I just wanted to double check what this card means. So the Destroyer is about going through something unexpected, but it's also rejected energy, okay? So the Destroyer is the final third card of the 3 archetypes in the trio of existence. It's necessary, but very painful work to do in the world, okay? And again, this can link back to cultures as well. So culturally, we have an aversion to endings and we hang on to the permanence as a signifier of success. Yet the Destroyer pulls the rug out from under us, from under relationships, jobs, homes, all forms of security. It's the part of us that wants things to end. But its painful orientation is to uncover our true purpose. The Destroyer does not let us linger long in comforts, as it knows not much happens in that realm. With its piercing eyes, it seeks out stagnancy from a distance, and the rest becomes history. So this is about something coming in to... Something has likely come in for you to trigger that reawakening for you. So this might have been something that was quite destructive. It might have been that you had a relationship breakdown, that you were rejected from something, rejected from a job, made redundant, a relationship's broken down, but there's some kind of rejection that has felt very painful and very harsh to you. But it was necessary in order to trigger this journey, in order for you to see that the way things are around you at the moment is actually not really working for you. and you're needing to move in a different direction. But there's something here about, one, massively connecting with your ancestors. That's the path that you need to be moving down. 2, the depth that you're needing to go back to, that there's something that you've missed. And I think you are not aware that you've missed this. You think you've gone back through your history, you've sort of worked out everything down your ancestry line. No, there's something that you've missed, and you need to revisit that. You need to go back again. And 3, the mentor. The mentor is very, very significant, that there's meant to be someone that is teaching you. And this destruction that's come in to break everything up, to get you to see this, is really significant. It's pushing you forward, and it's going to help you to have a vision. So it will help you to decipher where your path is exactly leading you. I think there may be some confusion around you at the moment in exactly what you're meant to be doing. Also, prayer. So I don't know whether you're somebody that prays within their spiritual journey, prays like to your gods, any deities you might work with, your ancestors, just anyone that's in your spirit team, but connecting in that way and really connecting through prayer, through words, would be really beneficial for you. But walking down this path and doing this investigation about your ancestry and trying to learn what it was that exactly has run through your family in terms of magic is going to help you with your vision. It's going to help you to be able to see. It's going to give you clarity. Because at the moment, it feels to me a little bit like, I don't know, you're in the dark about something. Like you can't quite see. Yeah, so you are. You're up the mountain at the moment, and the mountain is a good place to go. So we separate ourselves from the noise, from the hustle and bustle, and we take ourselves up the mountain, okay? And we can sit in this peaceful energy and spend time by ourselves, going within, listening to our inner voice, listening to those inner teachings. But if you stay up the mountain for too long, it can be very isolating. So you start to feel lonely, you start to feel like you're very isolated. And it's important that we go up for periods of time, but then we come back down the mountain. I feel like at the moment, you're not coming back down the mountain because you think that you think you know what's down your ancestry line, but there's something massive that you're missing. And it's about connecting in with that energy. It's about, because the womb is the place of creation. It's almost your origin, is where we come from. And it's about revisiting that. It's about trying to go back down that journey. So even though this has come down it looks like this is coming down your father's ancestral line, there's going to be women within that side that you need to be connecting with that can mentor you and to help you with this vision, to help you to see where it is that you're meant to be heading and what exact path you're meant to be walking down. Because at the moment it feels like there's a bit of a disconnect, and you're really needing to reconnect in with those energies, reconnect in with your ancestors, spend time going further back down your family tree if you can, be that on ancestry, be that through spiritual methods, however you feel most comfortable to do that. But it's time to bring yourself down from the mountain, because I feel like you've been up here for a while just pondering, trying to figure out what your next moves are, where you're next meant to be heading to. And it's time to come down now. It's time to come down from the mountain. It's isolating you too much. And it's about really connecting in with these energies of the creator and of your origin, of the womb energy, the mother space, those female energies within your family lineage. Because there will be somebody around you that is able to be some kind of mentor for you at the moment. But yeah, there's something that you're not quite seeing right in terms of your spiritual journey, and you're needing to go deeper to be able to figure out what that is and really connect in with your ancestry. Good luck.